Been any major, even now, there hasn't been many major lows. Um, I can't.
Do we want to move that climate frame?
I kind of like it.
You like
Say a
it?
million times.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't. I wouldn't say there's too many lows. Apart from some of these storms we had come in, that we were sort of expecting had gone. Some big winds, and we're pretty lucky though. Most of our sites didn't. None of it really got damaged, apart from one of our foremen. A sheet of ply blew off beside the skip and took out the back of his van, put a decent dent in it. Other than that, yeah, you had your pockets of weather that were good and pockets that weren't so good. But we're pretty lucky with, I suppose, the different jobs that we had on at the time, that we could move guys around when needed, and we actually didn't lose any time on jobs to any scale, which is nice. Other than that, B, what can you think of?
Highs for spring.
You did your bowls and stuff. I wasn't there. You did.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Another high for spring was the bowls that we had. Another team building exercise that we went and did at the Mount Bowls. It was really good, and some of the young boys got a bit schooled on how the old boys play bowls.
Who won?
Yeah, me.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, you can't leave anything on the ground with that kid. Just I saw her look at him.
Peed on the
I was like, oh, sorry, she was.
office yesterday by the dog.
I've got something against me, hey? I'll drink it. 10-second rule.
Yeah, you get into it quick.
Oh, nice. So you just
The bowls, and it's really good over there. Mount Bowling Club.
They put on a good,
Yeah,
little
good.
feed, eh?
Yeah, good feed, and beautiful sunny day. It was really nice actually. Um, another high for springers. We've started the Ocean Beach Road job, which I believe has been popping up on a few of the posts. So the boys are just chipping away at that. We've got the steel due on site next week, which is going to be perfect. And then yeah, she's all go. All the block work's in. That was always going to be the hardest things. Same within most things within building, is once you get it out of the ground, especially when you're working in sand. Once you get it out of the ground, it's sort of a lot more smoother sailing then. So that's all been done, and steel's due on site, so we can start building the structure.
nice, and you've got Nick.
Ask me that question again, if that's all right.
Yeah. So, what projects are currently in process, and what are you sort of about to kick off?
So in process is Ocean Beach Road, obviously, as we've just started that. We're going to be there for a little bit longer yet, coming into the new year. Um, we've got another one that we're just starting. The boys are out profiling today. With 4 or 5 days time, we're starting to dig that out. Beautiful flat site out Omokoro that overlooks the back of the golf course. It's sort of an H-shaped house with a cool, I guess right in the middle is a pavilion that as you walk through the front door, you look straight through the middle of the door. There's big windows. It goes out to the pavilion and then out to the pool area, which is actually really nice. But it's just such a nice site to be working on, nice and flat, really easy to get out of the ground. So I think the boys are looking forward to that.
And who have you got working there?
At the moment, we've got Lyndon and Ollie out there profiling, and then yeah, they'll carry on with that into the new year. Cool. So our Sycamore Rise job, the owners all moved back in there. Really proud of the finish that the boys have got on that, especially with the age of the house. We had a bit of fun with things not quite being straight. I think the house is over 100 years old by memory. The lighting in that house is absolutely amazing. But because the lighting's so good, it was going to show up any lines that weren't perfectly straight. So the boys have done an amazing job to get everything really straight, make sure that those lines aren't getting highlighted if there are any, or have just taken them out, just to get that finish that we've needed on that house, which has been awesome. They've done a really good job, and it's just really nice to see the owners back in there. One of the other jobs that we were working on was our Welcome Bay renovation. So same again, owners are all back in there. Again, it's like the transformation between the start of that job and where it looks now. It just looks like a totally different house. So again, really good to see the owners in that house, and yeah, hopefully enjoying it. Yeah. We also finished a renovation in Pies Pa, so we're just finishing off the last little bits and pieces with to do with the pool fence. That's all been done now, painted. That was another great addition. We added on a second lounge office. We created a new kitchen, and just opened up, and is really just almost working with some of the roofline that was already there and just recreating it and making it more usable. We had an interior designer on that job, and she's done an amazing job. And yeah, again, the finish on that compared to what it used to be like is just, yeah, almost polar opposites.
Do you want to talk about who?
So the team's going really well. We've employed another couple of guys, as we've grown over the last sort of couple of months, and the guys that we've brought on are just they're exceptional. We're really lucky. You never know what you're going to employ sometimes, but we're really lucky. The guys that we've brought on, my foreman have been raving about them, which is always nice to hear. What else was I going to talk about? I had something.
Upcoming Christmas thing or something?
No.
Did you want to say who those new guys are, or
What were you going to say?
any that have completed their
Oh,
training?
that's exactly perfect. Nailed it.
Was that? Okay.
Nailed it. So we've got Sean and Ollie. They're on for a bit of a race to see who qualifies first. They're both very, very close. By the end of the year, well, the next month, really, they're both going to be qualified. So put a bit of pressure on them, and yeah, see who comes through. But no, they're both exceptional young builders, and they don't muck around. They get on site and they go hard, and all the foremen love working with both those boys. So I really can't wait to see them qualified. And also Sean has now he's been and gone to America for his shooting, representing New Zealand, and he did really, really well. He shot some of his best days that he's ever shot, and he said that they were that competitive over there. Some of them he didn't. How did he put it? I'll rephrase that in case I muck it up.
It's clay target shooting, eh?
Yeah.
Sweet, maybe just say that.
Yeah, so yeah, he's back from his clay target shooting now. He said it was very, very competitive over there. A lot of the guys that he's shooting against, they do that full time. Every weekend there's big comps that they go in, whereas in New Zealand, it's not as, I suppose, in your face, or
Hobby?
not so much a hobby, because it is still very competitive within New Zealand. But they just have a lot more competition over there, or resources. Like, yeah, like he was saying, he was talking about the sizes of their shooting ranges, and just how many different areas they were. It was crazy. And then when you compare it to what we've got in New Zealand, yeah. So, but no, he did really, really well, and I think he enjoyed especially a few steaks over there in Texas. So I guess now, yeah, we're just starting to come into summer. It's always a bit bittersweet, I suppose, your summer period, because you hit December and you're like, perfect, the days are getting longer, the weather's a lot more, it's settled, a lot more sun, but then you've got that Christmas rush also. So the boys on some jobs are in a mad rush, really, just to try and get those jobs finished and ready for the owners for Christmas. whereas some of the guys on the other sites that don't have that are still just chipping away, making sure that what they're doing is accurate, and they're still working at a good speed, but they don't quite have the rush of trying to get sub-trades in to finish before Christmas. And that can make a big difference, I suppose, on some of their stress loads and how they're sitting at the time. So it is a bit bittersweet where you're really looking forward to a Christmas break, but you've got some big hours to do leading up to that on some sites just to get them finished. But moving into summer, we've spent most of spring, especially say for my part of the job. We've done most of our pricing now going into summer, so that once we come back from Christmas break, we're sort of straight into it. We've got our jobs logged, so it's really just starting to tidy up the end of the year.
What sort of renovations are sort of trending, or the most, or is it just so variable that, I mean, like, are they kitchens, bathrooms, or, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there is that around. It's not so much what we do. We're sort of more your middle to large size renovation. Plus, there is a lot of reclad stuff around. So we have been pricing a lot of recladding work. We've got more coming up.
What materials are people wanting to use for their recladding?
It varies, eh? It varies. Like, and this is where it's probably really important when selecting your claddings is making sure you're getting alongside a good designer. Making sure, like, they'll look at a lot of different things, where your house is located, what's going to suit your style of house. So it's not really with cladding one size fits all. There's so many different options, and that's where designers are so good at putting that together, and just what's going to work with the house that you've got.
Just quickly with because this is for newsletter and insight-based stuff, so it's not necessarily for social, but I'm just recording, so we'll transcribe it all.
Yep.
But when you say medium to large scale renovation, like, what specifically do you mean by that, and why is that different to small scale renovation? So is it multi-room? Is it more of the house, generally speaking, or is it a specific area of the house? Sort of, what's the difference?
So if we don't sort of so much work on just say your bathroom or kitchen. We're more the scope that we're more looking for is something that's going through council, dealing with architects, whether it's fully stripping out a house and redoing it, whether it's an extension, whether it's just an extension and kitchens, but we don't just really target to work on just kitchens. There's not a lot for the builder to do, I guess you could say. Say if you're looking at a kitchen, we strip it out. Bloody hell. We pretty much strip it out, and then it's a lot of other sub-trades coming in.
Yeah.
So for us, it's not a lot of work, but it can be a lot of headaches because you're trying to coordinate everyone and a lot of subbies in a small area in a small space of time, and then we're not there. So it is a lot of work for us to undertake those. Whereas, say, if you're doing an extension or you're fully stripping out your house, there's a lot more work for us to do, and we're on site a lot longer.
Moving walls,
Yep.
doors, everything like
Yep.
that, yeah.
Absolutely. Pushing out your roof line. And then your foreman's there, he's running a lot with Matt in the background as the project manager, overseeing, making sure that all the sub-trades are lined up. But there's a lot of work for smaller jobs, and that's sort of probably what a lot of owners don't quite realise is, say in a bathroom, you could have 6 to 10 sub-trades in that small area, and it's a lot to try and coordinate with timing. Whereas you could have 6 to 8 sub-trades on an extension that you're there for 2-3 months. Otherwise, there's probably a week's worth of work in a bathroom for builders,
Gotcha.
max.
Yeah.
If that
Okay,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So our Christmas function this year, it's a little bit different to what we've done before. I'm not letting the boys know. We're pretty much going to get in a van. We're going to head over the hill towards Hamilton. Not even telling them where I'm going or what we're doing. There probably won't be as many beers as we've had in the past. It'll be a little bit more thinking from them, but it's going to be awesome. And I think once they turn up, they're going to be pretty excited about the day. So really looking forward to that.